Hey everyone, welcome back to Wise Kracks. Jon Orlando and I. John's over at the Cosmo. I am here in my home studio. Randy flew back today to Colorado. I hit him up. I said, "You're going to do the show with us?" He said, "I can't. I just flew back, got off the plane, and already he's playing a promotion in one of the casinos there." Randy, no dummy. He is right back to work. And I was with Randy a couple times this week, and he ran really lucky and he hit 26,000. I told you guys last week. He hit 12,000 with me the other day. Hit a couple other Royals. He actually was stuck about 25,000. I love, Randy and I are very real transparent. Was he was stuck around 25,000 for the month of January. Got out, and now he's ahead about 15,000 or so, and that's what he's supposed to be ahead. So, John, you're over at
Wait,
Cosmo.
Bill, wait.
Yep.
When you
Yeah.
say that's what he's supposed to be ahead, explain that.
Yeah. He's supposed to be ahead. I know what Randy approximately wins per year. So, yeah, he's supposed to be ahead probably about 15,000 a month. So he's probably even a little bit short of that number right now. And give or take, if we make him 100,000, that's a good year. I can actually report now. It's amazing how superstitious we are, and I really am. I'm superstitious, and situationally, when things happen, even though it's beyond the math, the algorithms, the programs, I still will do things a certain way. Just my brain, the way it's wired from living back where I used to live. Maybe it's my mother's family, whatever it is. And gamblers are superstitious in general. So I didn't say anything. I ran really good at the Win. So 2024, I had a really good year at the Win, made some good money. I got a comp meal every week. A great host over there. I love the property. You guys probably know from me talking about on my Twitter and different feeds. I love the Win. It's a great property. Their security doesn't take much BS. I love the sports book. I love it's a real classy operation. But they are business, and I did beat them up a little bit last year. And so they stopped giving me a $1,000 a week free play. And then, but my wife, who, she fires, man. They stopped giving me free play, but they gave her the free play under her name. And sadly, today I went in and I found out that, it was every week. And they did not give her the free play that they were giving her. You could see, like literally, they were giving 1,000 a week free play, $1,000 a week up until January, they do that like every 5 weeks. So every 4 weeks, they do it like I think actually it's every 4 weeks. So for the month of January to the first week of February, you got $1,000, and we didn't receive an email. I even asked her a few times, and she couldn't find no email in spam or anything. And sadly, that free play has been cut. Now, here's what happened. Let me just tell you. So I won under my name a good amount of money. They were giving me 1,000 a week. Week 45, they said to me, "Hey, can't give you the 1,000 a week no more because you're up more than that 45,000 for the year, and therefore you can still play. But we can't give you the 1,000 a week no more." I'm not going to play. The $1,000 was my edge. I felt I'm playing a 98.9% game, not playing a 100% game. But I put a lot of money through the machine, and I put more than I even should because I got dealt a hand for 33,000 about 6 months ago. So I wanted to give him play. I even played a couple of reels. That's right. Just to try to make the card look a little better. I was playing some reels, but believe it or not, I was playing the sour rooter game. So I was playing some big ones. I was playing some for 45 a spin. I was playing some big games. Ran a little lucky on there too. Probably won about $5,000. I won 7,000 one day doing that. So, but the year before in 2023, I lost equally. A little bit less what I lost. Let me just give you the numbers, okay? I won 77,000 last year. I lost 70 the year before. So but I get a meal every week, which is 100. Let's say it's $100. That cost them $25. So they put that into the equation. I got some rooms, show tickets. They're real good over there. They're real good to me. And I give them I'm not mad about anything. I was a little surprised this morning going in with the missus and finding out that her $1,000 a week was taken away. But we ran really good the last 8 weeks. So even though she broke about even last year, the last 8 weeks, I won about 20,000. We won about 20,000 on the Hurt card, and they just had enough. They had enough. So
Bill,
it saddens me.
How do you find out exactly? Is that you said you were surprised? So does that mean you put your card in expecting there to be free play and there's nothing there, and then you go to the front and you're like, "Hey, what happened?"
Yeah, you know what? No one wants to give you an answer. They're scared to death to give you an answer. No one wants to. It's just zero free play available. Listen, I was really shocked though because I had that losing year, but no one cares about 2 years ago. I lost 70,000. That's a lot of money. You lose 70 grand in a casino. And for the year,
and that's just from slots, though, right? That's just
video
slots.
poker and slots.
Video poker.
Okay. Lost for the year 70 grand, 2023, 177 last year, of which 45 when they stopped me after week 45. They said, we're 45,000 in this we're giving you. So if you think about it, I got dealt a hand for 33,000. So it's almost that hand that I got dealt. And that was the difference. So anyway. I'm saddened by it, though, John. I love going to the Wynn every week. I love going in there. I know all the people there. I love going to grab my meal there, the beautiful gardens and coffee shop.
Yeah.
And, over-tipping everyone there. I love it there, and I'm still going to always love it there. But unfortunately, losersonly.com here in Las Vegas. It's all the casinos, though. If you win long-term, I got thrown out of the M for winning 30 grand. I mean, the M just, they gave me $1,000 free play, lowered it to 500. I hit for 30,000 bucks, and that was the end of the free play, cut off. So no one likes it. And that was after short term. That was I don't know if it's Penn. Is that Penn? I think it's Penn Gaming that owns them. They threw me out. They threw me out right away. I say throw me out. I don't mean no one takes me to the door and throws me out. They just say, hey, if you want to play, you're welcome to play, but you're not allowed to play blackjack, by the way. But you're allowed to play. Penn they backed me off over there at the for playing blackjack once. Put me in that book. Well, I was in it.
When was that?
Well, when they first opening night, I thought I had a nice little edge there, and I figured undercover gaming there. I gambled too long though, John. You can only play blackjack 20 minutes in and out. I played 2 hours. They backed me off the first night, so I went back again. I figured different corporations own them, but that didn't last too long. By the way, I lost. I did not win. I lost playing blackjack over there, and they threw me out. I lost a lot too. That's probably why I thought I could get away with it longer. I think I lost 7,000 opening night playing double deck blackjack. Which is going to happen.
Is that because they don't like your bet fluctuation? They think you're up to right.
Well, they don't think. They take their counting cards. They're counting cards too. So, and by the way, I don't want to sound like no genius. You can learn 90% of what I know in a couple hours reading the internet. I use a Wong's halves count, but you don't have. That's a little more advanced. It's simple though. You could just use a basic high-low count, and in 2 hours, you could learn 90% of what I know. There is some other things. I keep a side count of aces, which is real simple though. This stuff sounds like side count of aces. It's simple after you get going. Just practicing with decks of cards. So simple to keep count of things. So anyway, it is what it is. These are companies and corporations, but I give a lot of good press to the Wynn. I give a lot of good, tweets and stuff. I try to give. I don't do it because they give me free play. I do it because they deserve. Walking through the Wynn and just a different thing. Listen, they keep the riff-raff out of there. You know what I mean? They keep the riff-raff out of the place. I really like. There's a lot of sour rooters there. This morning I noticed too. I even said, look at these guys in here. I mean, smoking, flicking the ash. This morning I noticed one of those guys flicking the ash on the floor.
I hate that.
It's carpet. It's not
right.
It's carpeting. Like flicking the ash, putting the cigarette out.
Right.
Why not just get an ashtray? I don't get that. Any casino. I'm not just saying. How can you? First of all, you're going around doing nothing but the bonuses. Moving in on people, blocking people, blowing smoke at them, and here you're putting the cigarette out on the floor. I couldn't believe it. I actually wanted to pull the camera out and say, "Look at this animal." I mean, just unbelievable. But I'm the one that's out of here. So anyway, that's something that happened this morning. I don't know how I got on the subject, and it wasn't even on my thing. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about how Jon Orlando again buried everybody with the Kansas City
Wait a minute.
Chiefs.
No. Okay, hold on. I
Oh,
said Chiefs money line and the over. Everyone
oh,
said under. I had the over. I
all
did
right.
say last week, I said, don't bet against Mahomes, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it
I
was
get
all
it.
Mahomes stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That didn't work out well. But
John, just to let you know,
yeah,
I had the Chiefs too. I had the Chiefs. I had a future on
disaster.
them. I had a future on them. I had them money line, but thank God the props worked out well. It's funny. My assistant just sent me the last. Let me see here.
Phil,
Just finished our weekly right. Went 21-13 for the week. Oh, plus 22 units. And I'm like, wait a minute. I call him up. I said, how can you be plus 22 units? I forgot. We had O'Connell Coach of the Year, which was, I got it a 30-1. Some of my customers got it
yeah,
28-1, 20-1. This is after coming off of some really unbelievable futures we've had, the Crack Wins
yeah.
guys over the years with Otani and stuff. Really, really good. So I'm really happy that that we had that coach. And we did good on props. Our send-outs were 7-5 over a unit win. Last second of the game, we lost a prop. The rest he was like, "Oh my God, would have been 8-4. It sounds so much better than 7-5." That's okay though. And listen,
Wait, what was the prop? What was the prop you lost at the last second of the game?
I guess we might have lost. We might have lost the prop. It was under 1.5 catches. I believe that was the last prop we let, that last touchdown. And
Okay.
it's funny. I think by me saying that, I think the prop. I think our producer Robert won because of that prop. I'm finding out that he actually won because of that prop. But I think we lost. That last prop because of that last
Bill,
catch, I believe. Go
I
ahead.
got to tell you a disgusting prop loss.
Sure.
This one's
What is it?
disgusting. Okay. I had a bunch of people over, and so we pooled our money on some
Mm-hmm.
props, right?
Right.
So, my friend Brian Hopkins,
That's
Brian.
funny. That's the guy we lost on, Hopkins.
Oh, me too. Okay. So one of the bets we had,
I almost want to see if he had
Bill,
3 catches or not.
so we keyed in on
Hopkins.
just the
2
name
catches.
Hopkins, right? We keyed in on Hopkins. So we bet Hopkins from the Chiefs would score the last touchdown of the game, which he did
Oh,
until Mahomes threw the bomb.
yeah. Yeah.
There was 1 minute left, or not even, maybe
Yeah.
30 seconds left. It
Yeah.
was plus 2,500. Plus
Wow.
2,500. We were
25 to
going to
1.
cash. We were going to cash so big. And
Oh.
then Mahomes throws that bomb with like 30 seconds left or
And I
whatever.
think
I
that's
couldn't
why
believe it.
Mahomes' pass yards went over because of that
Yes.
catch. But yeah,
Yes.
by the way, the score didn't dictate that didn't really
It was a
indicate.
blowout.
It was a blowout. That was a barbecue.
Yeah.
That 40 to
Embarrassing.
22. Even this, it's funny. I'm looking at the numbers and the second half line. You know what the second half line was, John, on the game?
16 or something, right?
No, the second half line was.
Oh.
The second half line was Kansas City was minus 6.5, 7. It was one of the biggest bets the sports books ever took was on Kansas City to come back. So minus 6.5, minus 7, went up to minus 7, minus juice, and they did not cover that. They won by 6 the second half.
Right.
And
the over for the second half was 16 or something.
No,
right?
The over was 23.5, 24.
Or for KC it was 16.
Oh, maybe they're individual,
or something like that.
Yeah, because they were favorite. They were favorite in the game. But I'm looking at some of the articles today. I knew that the sports books were probably going to clean up. I just didn't know this would be the biggest cleanup ever. Sports books cleaned up. DraftKings, BetMGM reporting biggest win ever on the Super Bowl. I'll even use Las Vegas. Last year, on a handle that was 20% more than this year, 20% more was bet last year. They won 11 million. This year they won over 22 million on one of the lowest handles ever. But the biggest win for the sportsbook weekend was this year. Absolutely crushed it. And why is going to shock you. Not just because of the Philadelphia and the Kansas City side or the total. Why is because of props too. There was a sports book that I know of that had 7 figures on Will Barkley score a touchdown, laying 2-1. They cleaned up on that. They cleaned up on Barkley props, Kelsey props. That's the reason why Crack Wins won. That's the reason why I won. My original list that night that I went to the sports book with Randy, I go to the sports book, the Westgate, and line up and made my bets that night. that original list went 8-1 that I stood there for online. And I went back up and bet a lot of them a second time. So I actually wound up going 12-1 on 13 bets there. The second list I gave out was actually 6-3. These are individual bets you can only get at sportsbooks here in Nevada, but some of them are give or take some. Even when I went on air on Sunday on my Fox show, my co-hosts, they were like, well, wait, like 7 a.m. I'm giving out. I said, listen, our sponsor, BetMGM, I'll just tell you right now, they have Barkley to win the MVP. Not Barkley. They have Hurts to win the MVP at plus 375. There's plus 300 in town. That's just a great number if anyone's going for the Eagles to take a Hurts as the MVP. And I even threw a nickel on it, and my guys got mad at me. Wait a minute, you're rooting for Kansas City. How can just every bet is independent of one another. So it was a very good Super Bowl for me. I did not know till Monday morning.
Go over that again, because I think that's really good information for the non-pro sports bettors. What you just said. Every
bet is independent of one another. So I'm not going to sit there and root for certain things. And to be real blunt, when the game is over, I forgot I had that Hurts bet. I forgot all about it. I wasn't rooting for each bet. But I realized after I checked my account, I was like, wow, I forgot I had that bet. But it wasn't a big thing because the guys at the show were like, wait a minute, you're rooting for Kansas City, right? I said, yeah, but every bet is independent of each other. All I knew was I gave it out on shows coast to coast. I gave out because some places only could do, I was doing like Mad Dog Radio, back east, shows back east, shows on the West Coast. And they said, hey, we just got time for 1 or 2 props. I was giving out under Barkley on every single show. Under Barkley, longest reception. Longest rush. Under Barkley, under yards. And then if you can get some of the marquee, other players, even though I didn't bet Kelsey under, I thought I wasn't betting over. That's for sure. But I did really well betting on some marquee things. I bet under. I think I said it here on our spot. Mahomes rushing attempts. Under 6.5, under 7.5, I bet it to win twice. And I think I bet that one on South Point too. Every bet is independent because under the 6.5 was still a good bet to me, minus $1.30, minus $1.40. Then I found under 5.5 plus $1.35. I just took a smaller bet, but I had to bet that just based on the value. So
that's why you're a winning player, and I am not, because I said last week I gave a whole speech. Big players come up in big spots. Barkley's gonna bust free and run for 40 yards and then 1 carry. And I said all that nonsense, and I believed it when I said it.
For everybody home and the guys that comment in the chat, and I haven't got back to the last couple of weeks, but I do get back to them usually every single week. I'll catch up. For the guys in the chat that say, why is John on this show? Or you and Randy, why is John? And then what do I say to you guys? John doesn't even read the comment. John, you probably don't realize I say this. I say, because look how transparent he is. Look what he just said. That's the reason why I don't do it. You have to be relatable to the public. The public bets a lot of these things. And the public will, and not to say John loses on everything. He's got a good opinion in the UFC. So I appreciate that from you, John. And I'm sure the people at home do too. Like I said, it was a good Super Bowl, but living in town, having all these outs, having places to play, I'm very happy with my results. Like I said,
here's one great thing. Here's one great thing that came out of it. I hope. Can we finally put it to bed? Can we finally put it to bed that the NFL is not rigged? Now, can we put it to bed? Not rigged. Okay. Yeah. The Chiefs are not. It's not fixed. There you go. Well, the Eagles beat the Chiefs. To
have, our eyes, like I said, our eyes play tricks on us week to week. So we only know and by the way, it was a real, even when the refs messed up one time, calling a penalty on Philadelphia, the next play they gave it back on the Goddard one. They kind of knew, I guess. But no, listen, we all know it's not rigged, but there is some acting and stuff and things that go on, and Kansas City got the benefit sometimes. Maybe they did, but rigged is not a word where you're using when guys are getting, that kind of money per year. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, betheritage.eu. I just went to their site, and again, 20% cash sign-up bonus. This is after they have reduced juice, cash back. They're giving sign-up bonuses. To be honest with you, I didn't know until today. A welcome offer, 20% with the reduced juice after that. They have the ultimate Bitcoin insurance play. Just click on that. You'll learn about that, how they give you it based on what Bitcoin does. Also, get out of your bet halftime. Golden State versus Houston Rockets is the last one here I see. You can get out of your bet if you don't like what your bet's doing by the halftime. You can click get out of your bet and you get half your. I'm sorry, you get your up until halftime. You get your money back. So heritagesports.eu, been around a long time. I look forward to seeing what other kind of promotions they come up with for baseball and stuff. By the way, I love baseball. I love baseball. So yesterday, the last couple of days has been very big for me betting on some of these baseball props, but they're independent of the sports books here in town that put up these home run props, player props, and like I'll be the first one to tell you, I found some stupid lines though. I found some really dumb lines, not dumb, but just I say stupid. I found some really good advantage lines here in town. I bet a lot of them at BetMGM had some really high numbers on home run props for a lot of these guys. I'll give you some of the key, like Mike Trout under 24.5 home runs. I just thought that was a good number. It's not the same Mike Trout from 10 years ago. Trust me. This kid is a future Hall of Famer from Millville, New Jersey, a little country town. Yeah. I love Mike Trout. I bet under his. I bet under. By the way, they're all unders. They're all unders.
Really, like who else besides Trout?
It's built in. It's built in that there'll be maybe some injuries. They'll sit some games. That should be built in and factored in. But who's going to bet? Who's going to bet under on these marquee players? It's never going to happen that the marquee players.
What's the line? What's the line on Trout on that under?
24.5. Let me go to. I bet that at BetMGM. Let me go to BetMGM to see, because I'll be blunt.
I like that one.
I bet some max bets, and they quickly changed a couple on me last night. Let's see, futures, and I also bet some season wins under. I bet some. Well, why don't I just log in? What am I telling you? Hold on a minute.
Yeah, log in and tell me the Dodgers aren't one of those season wins unders.
They had. If you're betting under on season wins for the Dodgers, man, they had 104.5 even. So they have to win 105 games. You're not even laying juice. Wow,
that's tough.
That's a lot for any sport.
That's a lot of wins. It's a lot of wins.
Okay, let's give you. Let's see here. Julio Rodriguez, Seattle, regular season home runs under 27.5. Berger under 28.5. He plays for Texas, I believe. Stanton, I like Stanton. Great, but he's out a lot. He's not.
He's out a lot.
Under 26.5 on Stanton. Mike Trout under 24.5. I told you. Some of these they're all unders. Fernando Tatis under 30.5. There's not a single over, but I really enjoyed putting these in. Ohtani is your man under 42.5 regular season home runs. Come on, 42.5 home runs, 43 home runs to beat me. I'll let him beat me. Schwarber under 38.5. These are all things that. Listen, the judge. But
Billy
just
hit.
Aaron Judge.
He just hit 50.
I know. Let him do it again.
You're killing me.
He wants to pitch. He wants to pitch. He wants to be hard to. Aaron Judge under 49.5. Now that's not my favorite one. I love rooting for Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Just 50 home runs. I'm betting against anyone in baseball. But now I'll go like Blake Snell under 199.5 strikeouts. Cole. I love Cole. I love Garrett.
Yeah,
Cole.
He's a beast.
Under 167.5 strikeouts. Logan Gilbert on Seattle under 196.5 strikeouts. I'll go over and over on these things. I'll take up the whole show. They're all unders. Real simple. I would scour all your outs and find the best unders on marquee players. You don't have to even know anything. You could just, like I said, just bet against these marquee players, though. So I can't wait. I love baseball. I know it's boring. I know it's not like NFL. So I like baseball. I love baseball season, though. So go ahead, John.
Bill, what are the odds on most of those unders?
Minus 110, minus 115. So, is that what you mean?
Yeah, so I'm just surprised that you don't mind tying up the money on those bets for that long.
I think that you have a better.
You think it's free
ROI.
Money?
Listen, I know what I've done on these type of futures the last few years. I've hit stupid amounts. I'm not even going to tell you the percentage because it's really hard to believe so. But I have won percentages on these unders over the years that would outdo anything I think I can get in a stock or a stock market or anything, even though the stock market
Yeah.
performed well. I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I'm not smart enough for that. Obviously, that's done much better than a lot of investments in life.
Do you give those plays out on Crack Wins?
Well, here's why I can't, because they're only on. Listen, John, good question. I don't know how you come up with these things. John, I don't do that. I'm not a bullshitter. I don't do that. I'm not going to say, bet this at BetMGM, bet this at DraftKings. That's not fair to the public. I want to give out a line that you could find at DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM. I want to use a line that I could find at all three of them. You know, I don't want to use something that's a bad line. So no one can accuse me of that, except for people that just make up stories. I mean, I had a guy recently on Twitter. I thank God that he actually came out and in the end realized. So he goes into one of my tweets and says, you know, hey, Crack, you haven't been. He said, well, Crack hasn't been doing that well lately. So now I say to myself, hasn't been doing that well lately. I think I've had an unbelievable 3-4 month run. So of course I go to my assistant for that, and I asked him what the record was the last 3 or 4 months, and then I actually go to the guy and say to him, wait a minute, you're a client of mine? And he said, yeah, I'm a client. I said, wait a minute. You're a client, and here's my record. And of course, I can't find the guy now. I said, here's my record the last 3-4 months. What are you talking about? I actually said, what are you actually talking about? And then he comes back to me, and he said something like, well, I don't have that. Wait a minute. And then he comes back in the end and says, you're right, Crack. I just didn't bet everything. I was like, so how can you go after me? How can you go after me and say something on a forum without having good information, you know? And he came back and said, I'm sorry, but that doesn't matter. They go on these forums, they go in public and, talk about things. Of course, I can't find the actual tweets now, but I said, you guys.
So when you bet one of those baseball futures,
I don't send them out because you can't get them here. I mean, you can't get them at DraftKings or anything. I'm getting these came off BetMGM, Westgate, and Caesars here in town. So
do those lines move? Like when I've seen it, you've showed me on your iPad when you make a bet. Yeah. Instantly the line moves on on a football. On Caesars, they don't move for this.
Caesars and BetMGM did not move them at all. And I was betting their max bets. They did not bet them at all. They did not move them at all. The next day, they moved them. The next day.
Is the max bet the same for you as it is like for me for a prop bet? Like that?
You're going to get more.
Yeah. I will get more.
Yeah, you're going to get more. I told this guy, how can you possibly say I haven't been good lately? Why lie? Why? I said, listen, 87 and 52 plus 39.7 units on release the last 3 months alone. Why would you send out a bullshit tweet? Curse twice on the show. Usually don't curse. Sorry. So he said, I must have missed some of them. And I go back to him and I show him, I give him the whole chart. Last text, you're right, Bill. I had a bad beat and lost a chunk on my bankroll. I've been following you a long time. I remember you were on Action Special Cage. No, it's actually on Showtime, but that's okay. I remember seeing you on there and doing your homework. There's no doubt. I didn't mean to do that. It came off bet. Let's cash tickets come out. Anyway.
Hey, but you know what? At least he gave you that because
I was happy. I was happy he actually did that. And
yeah, there's guys that won't give you that.
Came to me. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Going back to the subject, how the records and Super Bowl, how much money this town's made, how much money the sports books made. They cleaned up. I'm reading articles. Just do a search on how did the sports books do on Super Bowl. Listen, John, our live show last week went so good. Hold on, let's turn that off. Okay, sorry,
I really liked that. I liked that format.
Our live show did so good last week that I took a clip that we filmed talking about last week. I said, wow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've been in sportsbooks every day betting. There's nobody here. Looks really slow. The weekend, some of the big influencers in town, the Vital Vegas, Las Vegas, local, they started saying they talked to people on the inside, and rooms dropped to $50 over at the Westgate. $50, the Superbook, $50 the night of the Super Bowl on the pre-night, the Saturday night. So anyway, that clip I put up on Twitter of us three talking about how slow it was It got over 400,000 views.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Over 400,000 views. Just talking about. Now, listen, I'm sorry. I expect things just to go right, and I don't really talk negative. I talked about the things that are going on. I don't mean for it to come out so negative. 403,000 views. Us three knuckleheads talking about how slow the Super Bowl was, but yeah, and it was that slow, but yet it's the biggest moneymaker for the sports books, and a lot of it had to do with Barkley and Kelsey, believe it or not. And it was a mixed 50-50 bag of Kansas City Eagles money. We haven't talked about it. We talked about, okay, the game wasn't as close as it was. Boy, Kansas City really laid a bomb. They looked terrible in the first half.
Terrible.
24-0, turnovers. I mean, just a drop passes, the offensive line. Defense wins Super Bowls. Bill Parcells told me that personally up in Saratoga 20 years ago. And it doesn't take a genius to know that. But defense wins Super Bowls. Absolutely what happened here. Congratulations to Philadelphia. And their fans, I told you, they're dedicated. I warned everyone on every show, they're going to tear down the city if they lose. And they're going to tear it down if they win. So they greased the polls, kept people off there, kept the violence to a minimum. And, a great sports city, Philadelphia. Congratulations to them. I want to go into a subject matter that I've seen on a show. One of the shows that I watch every single week. It's called Miles to Memories Vegas. I like these kids. They talk about, I say kids, they're 20 years younger than me. So they talk about different things, different subjects. And boy, they got into a subject on their show. I think it was 2 shows ago that I absolutely love. It's all about Vegas, all about gambling. And, a lot of places won't give, people are nervous to tell anyone else to watch a podcast. They're afraid to go away from their podcast and take time out. I don't care. I tell you guys, all the shows I watch 3 or 4 shows a week. I've mentioned them many times here. Let's talk about Miles to Memory. They talked about Vegas influencers getting paid to talk about restaurants. They talk Las Vegas Phil, who I've seen. I follow him. I like his food reviews, actually. I follow him on multiple platforms. He is the Golden Steer media representative. I didn't know that. I know he puts Golden Steer on there a lot, the lobsters and the steaks. And I like Golden Steer, by the way. I don't need him to tell me to go there. I like it.
Classic, iconic.
I lived in Sunbury for many years with above the penthouse was a lady who was dating the owner, and she was very nice. And I met them a few times. And the owner of Golden Steer and his daughter runs it for him. And I've been out with him at dinner and stuff. And I would call it like I see it, no matter what. Get myself in trouble all the time. You can see I talked about the win a little bit today. I'm going to talk about one other thing too. Before one of my favorite casinos, charging for parking in a second. But Las Vegas Phil, Golden Steer media manager. When they say this might be the best burger in town, this might be the best steak in town. I have no problem that you're getting paid. I want you to make money, you guys. You have great energy. It takes a lot of your time. It takes effort. There's machineries and, there's I say there's cameras and stuff. There's cost of doing these things. I have no problem with that, but just put a little thing in the corner. This is an ad, or tell us that you're, there's a big influencer, Keith Lee. I was following him for a bit. Keith Lee was a good food influencer. One of the owners of a restaurant just told me he tried to charge him $20,000 to do a food review. What? I mean, he's got millions of followers, but how independent can that food review be if you're charging $20,000?
Right.
I just, that means you're going to get a good review. Now, if he charges that and gives you a fair review, I have no problem with it. But I just want to know what they're doing there because, like I said, I'm fine with them making money. Just be upfront, disclose it, and even if you're getting comped, maybe if you're getting comped, say, hey, they were nice to me. They gave me a free meal, and here's what it is, and I'll tell you what was good and bad about the meal. I don't like that these places are that people get paid to do it without telling you up front, because then they're not going to have an honest, good food review. Trust me, I do food reviews. I've never got paid for any of them, but I do food reviews. I show, and big deal. I don't get the hits they get, of course. I get 20, 30,000. Sometimes I'll get something and go a little viral. When they were charging, $300 for a pizza at the stadium, I got 14 million views The only one that paid me there was Twitter. Twitter paid me $375 that month.
Okay, so Bill,
yeah.
Can I give a food review right now?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
Yesterday, I was with our mutual friend Ian from New York, our buddy Ian.
Oh yeah, good guy.
And he took me to Miami Slice at Fountain
Blue.
For the first time. Now, Bill, I'm certainly not getting paid for this, right?
Yeah.
And
I reviewed them.
Some may say that I'm biased because I'm real good friends with Ryan from IDK Pizza, and people said to me, "You always say IDK, IDK, IDK," which is great pizza, by the way.
Very good. I like IDK. It's good.
Miami Slice was fantastic.
Oh, good. You were setting up there. I'm gonna tell you, I got well done. I get my well done slices there. I think that's some of the best pizza.
Buddy, it's crispy. It's crispy. Thin. The cheese. Thin. I just got a regular slice of cheese. It was so good. I told Ian. Ian bought the first round. I said, Ian, I need another slice. He goes, me too. I'm like, I got this one. So I bought round two.
You rookies did it wrong though. You got to get a pie. What? Because two slices in a soda. Two slices in a soda is going to bring you back about $27. You're so right. A whole pie is 36. So right. The whole pie. And I remember you saying it as we were ordering, but I was like, well, what if it's no good or whatever? So I was like, screw it. Next time, 100. Like when I let you take me, next week. No problem.
When me and you go, yeah. That was really good.
John, I hate to finish on a sour note. Super Bowl Sunday, I get done with my Fox show, get off air, run around town doing props, and pull into the Westgate Sportsbook, and there's like some handicap spots right there by the door.
Right.
And they're all taken, so I pull into the lot. There's some other spots there. I said, let me go over there, and security stops every car. It says, hey, it's $10.99 for everybody to park today. And they were saying they're going to start charging $11. I'm like, okay, I have a pass. I have a little pass sticker on my car that's free to park there if you're a sportsbook club. No, none of that stuff counts. I said, okay, I have the highest level card. None of that stuff counts. They were just nasty. So I literally, I said, so everyone pays? Everyone pays. So your highest level people that are coming in here with, credit lines, I said, well, you can go to the rewards desk and they'll refund your parking. Show them your card. So I go in, I park, and you pay up front. Everyone pays up front. So I pay on my app. I pay on their app. You have to go around the parking lot. They have these signs up. You stamp the app. I go on the app and pay. Go to the rewards desk. What do you think happens? They nothing.
Don't know what you're talking about.
They don't know what I'm talking about. They have no idea. I got the supervisor there. They don't know what I'm talking about at all. So sure enough, I go and make my bets, and I'm betting a lot of bets because they were taking a lot of money on props in person. And I walk out to the security guys, and I gave them a lot of shit in plain English. I said, listen, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. You're telling people they have to pay to park. Go get it. You don't know anything. So I was really mad. So listen, it's not about the $11. Please. It was just yesterday. My last tweet I put up, I think, on Twitter, I don't know, it had like 90,000 last I looked. No, the last one was the Tyson fight. 148,000. Wow, I haven't seen it. It went up. It went almost double. I said, this is disgusting. And I tagged Westgate is no longer considered a local's property now that they charge for parking. I was told, quote, everyone pays up front. You could try to get a refund at Reward Center. Went in. They told me no. 148,000 views. And this is the reason why they shouldn't give out bad information. Just so happens someone with a couple followers and a little bit of influence can, bury the Westgate. So there'll be people that know, hey, I'm not going to the West. So this is the reason why management upstairs, in the safety of their perch, that doesn't gamble, by the way, they just make decisions. Let's get them for parking. Enough of this. This is the reason why you guys should think this out a little more. Maybe get a little consultant from someone that gambles instead of you guys that are robbing paychecks up top. This goes for any casino in town that has guys that don't gamble. Now, the sports book I love. I love John Murray and the guys over there. I love Jay Cornegay. I love everything about them. But they just might not have casino mentality when it comes to this corporation. And it is what it is. Listen, I'm going to talk good and bad about everyone. I love the sports book. I always put things on there, how great it is to watch a game. They have reduced juice, 108, 109. But when you have people that are making decisions that just are coming in and out of the building, making decisions for people, and just sneaking out, not answering any questions, don't want to, and you're robbing paychecks, this is going to happen. So hopefully they revisit this idea, which I think they have already, because last night I read some of the things on there. I think they have already. This is a local property, by the way.
Yeah,
And,
I don't see that sticking. That's not
how
stick.
how can you charge everyone, not just have a card swipe, or better yet, give the locals 3 hours free like they do over at, I think it's Virgin, Fontainebleau,
Everywhere.
the Wynn, everywhere.
Yeah.
Caesars.
Yeah.
Give the locals free.
Could it be a part of maybe Operation Cleanup over there? There's sometimes it's a little I don't want to say riffraffy.
You want to put Operation Cleanup, stick a security guard out in the parking lot in the back there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean? That's true.
You want to put just keep them there 24/7. I mean, it's not the best area there. We know that, but a lot of casinos aren't in good areas. You think downtown's a good area? I mean, this casino's all up and down there. There's a lot of police presence. There's a lot of Fremont Street guys rolling around, security on bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. The Westgate does have security on bikes. I've seen them. I'm not saying they're not doing a good job, because they are doing a good job. But I know someone 2 years ago that was robbed outside the sports book. So, and it's so convenient to park in those spaces right there by the door. So rather than park in the garage or valet, I get it. But listen, like I said, I love the sports book still. I'm still going to play there. I'm still going to gamble there, but they have to revisit this parking thing. And I don't mean to be negative, but if I can be the voice to try to help, Joe Public out there, I try to do it.
Okay, let's not end. You said you don't want to end on a sour note.
All right, let's end on a good note.
Let's end on this. Well, I don't know. This might be sour too, because I saw a top 10 list of best baseball movies of all time.
Ooh.
And I absolutely disagree with this list. I want to just run it by you. I don't disagree with all of the list. Okay, here's the list
better be on there.
Here's the list that they gave.
Moneyball. Go ahead.
Number 1, they have it Field of Dreams, which I agree with.
Love it.
I agree with that.
Love it.
They have number 2 at Sandlot.
I've seen Sandlot. I have to watch it again. Go ahead.
Yeah. They have number 3 at A League of Their Own. They have number 4 at Bull Durham. They have number 5 at Major League. They have number 6, Moneyball. Number 7, The Natural. Number 8, 8 Men Out. Number 9, The Rookie, and number 10, Bad News Bears.
Well, I like the list. You don't like that?
I like some of the lists. I don't agree with maybe the order. But I'm going to get a lot of heat for this one, Bill. Sandlot is not on my top 10.
That's what I said. I got to watch it again. I don't think it's in my top 10.
A League of Their Own. A League of Their Own is not in my top 10 of baseball movies.
It had some good parts. That's Tom Hanks with Gina Davis, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like
League of Their Own. Yeah, Gina Davis. Yeah. And you're not going to like this one because I just heard you say it. You may not. This may kill the friendship, Bill.
Oh.
The Natural is not on the top 10. I'm sorry.
Holy moly.
I said what I said.
The Natural?
It's not. No.
Wow.
No, not for me.
Oh my God.
For me, Bill, it's Field of Dreams, number 1. It's Moneyball, number 2.
I love
really
Moneyball.
Close. Really close to being number 1. I'm okay even saying number 1 is a tie with Field of Dreams and Moneyball. And then I've got Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, great.
I've got Major League.
Yeah.
I agree with 8 Men Out. That's
8 Men Out, perfect.
Very underrated movie. Bad News Bears, the first one, the original, the classic. I'm okay with that.
Maybe. I haven't seen it in 30 years. So I don't know.
What about Perfect Game? Isn't it on this list? Kevin Costner with Vin Scully? No?
Mm-hmm. That's because you're a Dodgers fan. Go ahead.
And then what about, I even like Mr. Baseball
with Tom Selleck. I didn't see it. Heard it was good. I love Tom Selleck. Yeah.
And then what about the one with the 12-year-old kid who's the manager? I can't think of the name of it right now. Did you ever see that one? He's manager of the Minnesota Twins.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, I'm interested to know what the comments say. I'm interested to know what the comments think.
The Natural's not on my top 10 list.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Oh my God! How can you? That's old school baseball, like Babe Ruth.
Maybe I need to watch it again. I feel like it's such a slow movie. No.
When's the last time you've seen it? Have you seen it in the last 10 years?
Whenever it came out. No, whenever it came out.
Watch it again.
Really?
But yeah.
All right.
We've had our time here. We appreciate all you guys liking and subscribing. Please like and subscribe. You're supposed to say that at the beginning. That's like and subscribe. But anyway, like and subscribe for us. Comments. I'll get back to you guys. We appreciate you watching every week, guys, and we'll be back next week on Wise Kracks.